Halo 404 Boxing and more. I want to say shout out to the LDBC. Welcome back to the channel, to my subscribers and repeat viewers. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, I ask that you please subscribe. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe as well. Mikey Garcia. Watched the interview yesterday where the reporter was riding along in the car with Mikey, with the interviewer. I'm not going to say she's necessarily a reporter, but the interviewer was riding along in the car with Mikey, interviewing Mikey about, you know, the Errol Spence fight falling through, so forth and so on. Mikey seemed to be trying to sell the public, or sell the fans, or sell the viewers of that video on him being discouraged that the Errol Spence fight couldn't be made. He seemed to be trying to spin it as if it's a business type thing. The fight was, it was harder to bring the fight together than what they expected, and basically it tried to make it as if it was up to him, they'd fight tomorrow. But it's just kind of the business side of boxing that prevented the fight from happening. You know, I want to say first off, I don't know of anyone that was clamoring for that fight. I don't know of anyone that was just like looking at potential fights and said, man, I wonder how Mikey Garcia would do against Errol Spence, or how Errol Spence would do against Mikey Garcia. I mean, for most of us, that was a fight that was not even a fantasy fight. You know, it was a fight that nobody even looked at until Mikey Garcia started screaming Errol Spence's name. And that went on for quite some time. I think Mikey probably had 2 or 3 fights in the interim during the time that he was calling Errol Spence out. And then Errol Spence finally addressed it to the point that he's saying, okay, if the fight can be made, I'll take the fight. But it's one of them things where I think Errol tried to take the high road, knowing that this was a fight that he had no business in. A fight that he could only lose, win nothing. You know, and I said that back when the fight was being kicked around, that it was a fight that Errol Spence had everything to lose and nothing to gain. And Mikey Garcia has a few good rounds in there. Errol Spence, it will be said that Errol Spence got exposed. If you think I'm lying, look at Kell Brook versus Triple G. Kell Brook got battered and bruised in that fight. Basically got stopped due to a broken orbital bone, or eye socket, whichever you want to say. But because he did good work prior to that happening, he gets a lot of credit. And basically Triple G got a hard look, you know, because it's like, okay, you let this little guy do this, you know. So, you know, and the same could be said for the Amir Khan-Canelo fight as well. You know, Khan was outboxing Canelo for quite some time in there, but the only difference there is you have to expect Amir Khan to outbox anybody he gets in the ring with, you know, save for a few fighters. So, you know, with that said, the Errol Spence situation was such that even if Errol Spence went out there and just steamrolled Mikey in one round, all the talk would have been, well, that's what he should have done. That's what he's supposed to do. And he had no business taking that fight, regardless of whether Mikey was calling him out or not. And they'd accuse him of, you know, taking a fight for a payday. Just all kind of stuff. So it was a situation in which, like I said, no one was clamoring for that fight. It was all Mikey Garcia. Even his team was saying they didn't want the fight. But it was Mikey, Mikey, Mikey. Now that the fight looks like it's not going to be made anytime in the near future, Mikey seems as if he wants us to feel sorry for him, or wants us to have some sort of sympathy for him because he didn't get the fight that he wanted. Well, to that I say, I don't think Mikey ever really wanted to fight. And I think if Mikey really wanted that fight, it would have happened. He'd have been really, truly pressing for it to happen. I don't think he was ever really pressing for that fight to happen. But he did gain some fame from continuously calling that man out and acting as if he wanted that fight. You know, with that, and the other side of that is it also afforded Mikey the luxury of people not demanding that he fight the people that he should be fighting, because it was like, okay, he wants to fight Errol Spence. Well, we're not going to be on him too hard for not making a Lomachenko fight, or not trying to make a fight with a guy like Regis Prograis, or not trying to make a fight with Linares, and just a myriad of people that he could be fighting in and around the weight classes that he campaigns at. So now that hadn't happened, now that the Spence fight isn't happening, he's having to fight his mandatory. He doesn't seem thrilled about that, and he probably genuinely isn't thrilled about having to fight his mandatory, because he probably does want a higher profile fight than that. But at the same time, he was chasing the wrong fish. You know, he should have been pursuing the bigger name guys in and around his weight class, not a guy 2 weight classes above where he is a 2 belt title holder. So with that said, I'm not crying for Mikey. I don't feel sorry for him. I think there's a lot of good fights to be made for Mikey. I think I made a video a couple months back saying such. There's a lot of good opportunities for Mikey to go out there and really cement his legacy. I just don't think the Errol Spence fight is the one for him. And apparently, I'm not alone in thinking that, because the fight isn't getting made. So with that said, I'm out of here. I appreciate your viewership. Shout out to LDBC. Shout out New Media. Peace.